Well, good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to another review. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again for the second of this week's reviews. And today we're in North Africa. We are in Tunisia, and you are looking at Tunis Carthage International Airport, Delta Tango Tango Alpha. This is a Payware scenery by Prealsoft, currently version 1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. Download is 544 meg and it installs just over a gig. Now, if you can purchase this from SimMarket or from Airsoft's own shop. Prices are the same, and it installs via the Airsoft One app, which I've mentioned in previous sceneries. Prices, currently it's available for €18.10, which equates to roughly $18.16. or £15.50 UK. US and UK prices are estimates, and they do include VAT and tax, which of course may vary depending on the country you're in when you make your purchase. Just quickly to run through the main features: a highly detailed rendition of the airport, high resolution textures, PBR texturing, dynamic lighting, ambient inclusion, optimized for best frame rates, animated jetways, and we'll test those during the review, miscellaneous objects and vehicles, and windows reflections. So there you go. I've had a brief look over this scenery. Like many sceneries, there's quite extensive use of photoground scenery, but it's actually not bad at all in many areas. What you're looking at is the airport. We're looking towards the west, and you've got the city of Tunis in the distance. It's a really interesting location here, but a great place to fly into. And overall, the scenery I think is pretty good, but we'll go into the details in a bit. As I said, Tunis Carthage International Airport, which lies just literally east of the city and very close to the city of Carthage itself, after which the airport's named. So as ever, let's start with a bit of history. Tunis Carthage Airport, Delta Tango Tango Alpha, is a public and military use international airport operated by the Tunisian Civil Aviation and Airports Authority, and it's the main airport of Tunis, the capital of Tunisia. The airport is named after the historic city of Carthage, located just 2.5 miles or 4 kilometers east of the airport. Tunis Carthage Airport itself is located 3.7 miles or 6 kilometers east of the city of Tunis. Serves as a home base for TUNISAIR, TUNISAIR Express, Nouvelle Air, Tunisia, and TUNISAVIA. History of the airport dates back to the 1920s, when the first seaplane base in Tunisia was built on the Lake of Tunis, a large lake now due south of the current airport location, for the seaplanes of Compagnie Aéronavale. The airfield itself opened in 1938, serving around 5,800 passengers annually on the Paris to Tunis route. During World War II, the airport was used by the United States Air Force 12th Air Force Division as a headquarters and command control base for the Italian campaign of 1943. Once the combat units moved to Italy, Air Transport Command used the airport as a major transshipment hub for cargo, transiting aircraft and personnel. The airport also functioned as a stopover en route to Algiers Airport or to Malhala Field near Tripoli on the North African Cairo-Dakar route. Later, as the Allied forces advanced, it also flew personnel and cargo into Naples in Italy. Construction on the Tunis Carthage Airport, which was fully funded by France, began in 1944, and in 1948 the airport became the main hub for TUNISAIR. The airline started operations with the Douglas DC-3s, flying from Tunis Carthage Airport to Marseille, Ajaccio, Bastia, Algiers, Rome, Sfax, Djerba and Tripoli. Passenger traffic grew steadily from 1951, when 56,400 passengers were carried, 33,400 of them by Air France. The airport offered a convenient stopover point for several other French airlines over the years, including Agile Azur, with a stop in Tunis on the Paris-Brazzaville route, and TAI, or Intercontinental Air Transport, with a stop in Tunis on its Paris-Saigon route. Among the foreign airlines seen, Transworld Airlines was ever present, and their Rome-New York route and Rome-Bombay flights made a stop in Tunis. In 1997, the airport terminal was expanded to 618,365 square feet, or 57,448 square meters, and it consists of 2 floors, departure and arrival, and has a capacity of just over 4 million passengers per year. In 2005, the terminal was expanded another 59,202 square feet, or 5,500 square meters, which has now increased the terminal's capacity by another 500,000 more passengers annually. On 23rd of September 2006, a new terminal opened for the charter flights. Currently, over 25 airlines operate into and out of Tunis airport. So that's a history for you. Quite a bit. It's been around quite a while, this place, and has been developed. Let's go and have a look at runways. So Tunis Carthage International Airport operates 2 runways. Runway 1901 is the longest of the 2, measuring 10,499 feet or 3,200 meters, and is made from asphalt. Runway 2911 is the shorter runway, measuring 9,350 feet or 2,850 meters, and is also made from asphalt. The airfield itself lies at an elevation of 21 feet or 6.4 meters. Runway 19, and we're looking down the throat of it now, features a standard Cat 1 instrument landing system with X, Y and Z approach options. Installed a high-intensity airfield lighting system and precision approach path indicators on the runway left side. There is also a VOR approach option available. So here you can see the PAPIs on the left side, and the full HAILS system is there, including runway end identifier lights. You've also got centerline lights, which is really helpful. Runway 01, and we're looking at it now, this is the other end, also features a standard Cat 1 instrument landing system with X, Y and Z approach options too. Installed on this runway are precision approach path indicators only, and you can see it there on the left. There's also a VOR Z and Y option approach for this runway too. As you can see, we still have the centre line. They've actually got the markers here, but they're not lit, so effectively they've attempted to comply with the charts, which is just as we would expect. So you've got an ILS here, you've got VOR options and a visual approach slope indicators, or PAPIs as it were, so approaches into this runway perfectly acceptable, no problem at all. So runway 29, and we're looking down the throat of that runway now, also features a standard Cat 1 instrument landing system with X, Y and Z approach options available. Installed on this runway again are just precision approach path indicators only. There's also a VOR approach option available. So again, you can see no lead-in lights, but you've got runway and identifier lights. Centerline lights on a runway are missing on this runway here, but you have the PAPIs and instrument landing and VOR options available too. So runway 11, which is the other end, and we're looking at it now, features a precision approach path indicator only, and here VOR approach option is the only landing approach option available. As you can see, no lead-in lights, runway and identifier lights are there, and the runway's reasonably well lit as we've blurred the light here, and you've got the PAPIs. Tunis Carthage does operate a preferential runway use system. Runway 29 is normally used for landings, that's the other end of this runway, and runway 01 for takeoffs, subject to certain conditions. That could change if those conditions are not met, but that's the general preferred runway use options here. So that's about it for runways. Everything looks reasonably good, as you can see, even in the low light. Let's now do a jetway test. Let's go down and have a look at one of the jetways on one of the piers and see if they work. Okay, so here we are on stand Papa 55, and let's test the jetway. There she goes. And that's quite nice. Okay, it's gone right the way through the skin, so which is common to many of these animated jetways. And also, as we can see, it's gone through the tug. So hopefully maybe Asobo will consider thinking about repositioning the tug. Let's have a look from the other side. Yep, there we go. As you can see, the jetways do work, but they have gone significantly through the side of the skin of the aircraft. But at least they work, and that's fine. And as you can see there, the jetway wheels are pretty much just sort of stopped short of the tug, but I think there would be tug damage there. However, the jetways work fine, as we can see, so there you go. And there you go, the jetway moves well clear of the aircraft and repositions itself perfectly acceptable. Okay, so here we are back on the ramp where my aircraft is parked and where we did the jetway test a moment ago. We're going to start with a look at this satellite terminal bit here for the moment. This is the only part that has internal development, so we'll just get a little bit closer and you can have a look at some of the detail. Firstly, from the outside, as you can see, the roadway looks okay, and the outside detail, including the air conditioning units, looks perfectly okay. Some good, nice weathering on the building. If we go up close, there you can see inside they've done some internal work there. Let's pop inside. So there you can see inside, nice flooring, some seating, and some people that are not animated, but they're perfectly acceptable. Even when you go up close, they look quite nice. And there you can see some signage, which is really nice and clear, and of course the artwork on the wall there, which really looks excellent. So here's a look inside another satellite part of the terminal here, and you can see again you've got various people standing up and sitting down. And again, the artwork on the wall is beautiful. Inside of this work is excellent, and the signage is really crisp and clear. Very, very nice. Now once again, there's a view from outside. It looks really, 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 really nice. No complaints at all. Very nicely done. So as we move away there, we'll look at the airside ramp now and start doing a tour. Let's just come up a little bit. There you can get a good look at the satellite itself. It's been nicely modelled, and as we say, we've got some internal development inside the satellite buildings itself, but there's no further internal modelling that I can see, having already looked. Ground markings look good here, very crisp and clear. Again, some weathering on the ground markings as well. All of this looks perfectly acceptable, nicely done, lots of bits and pieces. So let's do a little tour. Here's the other part of the terminal, and again I like these images on the building. They look really nice. There's the name of the airport in English and in Arabic. Lots of ground clutter, some beautiful images there, very, very nicely done. And here you've got some vehicles moving around as well. And a little look in the other direction. As you can see, the roads are well delineated. All really looks quite nice. And some nice models there. So we're looking across the ramp there you can see the control tower. Again, I confirm that there's no internal development inside the tower, but it does look really good. We'll have a look in a minute. Let's continue the central area tour here. There in the distance is the fire station. We'll come across and have a look. And you can see all the road markings on the ramp are all nicely done, perfectly acceptable. So there's the fire station building, nicely modelled, and the fire engines themselves are nicely modelled. Again, good weathering on the building, very, very nice. And there in the distance we're looking towards the threshold of runway 19 right up here, and here you've got some old aircraft sitting in this particular area here, and over there there's a maintenance hangar with a couple of Airbuses, which we'll have a quick look at. So firstly, there's the models of the aircraft that are no longer in use, and there's the hangar, and you've got some model aircraft here in various bits of disarray, and you've got some nicer models here that obviously are working and they're there ready for some maintenance work to be done. So while we're here, let's look at some of the taxiways and signage. Here you've got signage here, taxiway mic. There's your blue airfield edge lights. Again, the ground markings are good. More taxiway signage here. And more taxiway signage here. We're on taxiway Echo, and here you can see the crossing point where we cross runway 2911. And some more signage, and the windsock there to the left. Some buildings here on the airport. Here's the control tower, again across from the main terminal. Looks really quite nice, weathered. Not an awful lot of work done to the building, but it does look fine. And there you can see what they've done. You've got this illusion of things going on inside there. There's no internal development, but the glass has been structured such that it does appear there's something going on. Be interesting to see how this looks at night, but there we go. So we're going to tour south away from the main terminal area. This is towards TRANSAVIA parking. There's a TRANSAVIA hangar there to the right. Again, nicely modelled. Couple of hangars there. Again, not a lot inside them at all, but they are open and you potentially could taxi in there. And here, looking across this area here, you can see car parks with various cars and stuff in it, and again they've modelled the inside of it properly, which is good, something I like. Some fairly generic buildings, but it all seems to work pretty well. Very nice. And here you've got the fuel farm right to the south of the airfield. Again, nicely modelled, very simple, but it works. And just looking back across the main hangar building there. So we just run across the threshold of runway 01 there, and we're heading for what is actually shown on the chart as former parking. I don't know if this used to be like the old terminal or something. Maybe it did, I don't know, but you've got, it's listed as former parking on the chart, but as you can see there is substantial aircraft parking there, and buildings, and a small tower there too. So as you can see, that really does look like it used to be something important, even if it isn't now. But the stands are still operating, they're still working, and they're still shown on the chart. But as I said, it's listed as former parking, so maybe this is part of the airport that was there before the new developments were built. All looks really pleasant. Again, it's sort of photo scenery, but it does look nice. Here you've got the main highway. Again, photo real, but it looks okay there. Now we go towards the threshold of runway 29, and here you can see more hangars and maintenance areas. We'll just have a quick look. There you've got runway entrance signs, all look perfectly acceptable. And as you can see, the modelling has been continued here on this remote part of the airport. A number of helicopter stands here too. So presumably helicopter flights for VIPs into the city, which is literally only 6 kilometers away. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of sort of photo ground, but it all looks fine, and we're just heading right up to the top of runway 19. Here you can see various default buildings over the airport. Once again, the windsock there, and you can see here a little bit of work to enhance one or two default buildings. as we travel back towards the central area. Now it all looks nice, perfectly acceptable, quite simple, nothing serious as it were, but quite a nice little scenery. Now let's just have a look landside of the main terminal. As you can see, you've got these little signs and hoardings around, along with palm trees, some road signs, and vehicles in the car park there, and it does look nice. Just little things that make the airport come alive. And again, some buildings that have been done. Landside, there's a radar dome on top there. And that's interesting. So heading back in towards the landside part of the terminal. Interesting little buildings. Again, photo ground scenery here, which looks better the higher you go. Again, you've got these signs really beautifully done. And they look good even up close. Love the palm trees. And we come into the terminal itself, landside. Here's the up ramp that goes up to the departures level. And there you can see vehicles and stuff landside. Flags are not animated. And there you can see the entrance on the upper level, nicely modelled, some beautiful artwork. Cars look good. Very nice. So to the right there you can see the fire station airside. And here we continue around again, some trucks, and you've got the little hoardings here, advertising signage. You go up really close and it's still really crisp and clear. These are the things I like about these when they do with this airports. It looks really good. So we're just going across the car park. Again, you can see the quality here is really nice. Palm trees are good. The car models are perfectly acceptable. I just want to go down to a lower level here and have a look at the arrivals level. And as you can see, perfectly acceptable. Everything done so you got the appearance of things going on. No internal development in the landside area, however. But all looks perfectly good. Signage is good. There's the taxis over there to the right. Very nice indeed. Okay, so let's turn the lighting down to dusk now and have a look at the airport lighting itself, see what it looks like. So just after 6:35 in the evening local time, as you can see, it's sunset. Again, very difficult to judge the timing. I got it to 18:37 and that's really about it. Lighting looks quite pleasant, subtle, nothing really much going on. Let's look at the airside ramp where we're parked. So here we are on the stand, and there you can see inside the developed part of the satellite terminal, which looks perfectly good from outside. Lighting's all very subtle. It's not bathed totally in blistering light, which is quite pleasant, and nice to see the jetway ends lit up as well. And looking down there towards the TRANSAVIA apron, as you can see, it's light enough to find your way around. The stands have lighting, perfectly adequate, nothing overdone. And again, looking to this side, as you can see, the lighting looks perfectly okay. Very subtle. Building looks nicely lit. Let's just take a slow tour across the ramp. And there you can see inside the satellite building. And this part of the airport nicely lit as well. Really good on the signage. Just going to travel right over the top of the building here towards landside. There you can see you've got those big lights there. The lighting produced is quite subtle, so I'm wondering if they go much higher when we go to night time, but we'll look at that in a minute. Lots of asobo globes here. Well, as you can see, part of the car park is lit, part of it isn't. There you've got those big lights up there that don't really seem to be lighting anything. Certainly not downward facing, as it were. But all nice, quite subtle, quite pleasant. Very nice, quite simple, nothing seriously to write home about, just very pleasant. So a nice shot there with the moon in the background. We move towards the landside part of the main terminal here, and this lighting is very pleasant indeed. This is what makes things like this come to life. Looks really good. There's the main entrances on the upper level. And looking in the other direction there, the signs are well lit. You've got this beautiful pond issue sort of thing here, and there's a plinth there. And a look back across the car park, you can see these signs are quite reasonably lit. This is a lovely little design here, and again little bits and pieces that just really make this place look lovely. And they're looking the other direction right down to the other end, and we've got the lower side there, the arrivals part on the bottom level, and the entrances there as well. So a quick look at the fire station. Okay, so the lighting is quite subtle on the ramp. Some little bits of lighting going on here, but nothing inside the main building here. They've kind of left a lot. Lots of nice subtle lighting in various places, and lots of lighting missing where you would expect it, certainly here. Little animated fire engine there, and away she goes. We head across to the control tower. There you get a good look at the blue airfield edge lighting, and that looks quite good. I mean, obviously that's an illusion, it's not real, but it gives the illusion of things going on inside. That's quite a nice rendition on the windows there. I like that. And a general look down towards one of the runway thresholds there. Here you can see plenty of airfield edge lighting. No centerline green lights that I can see, but the signage is good, stands out, and all of this looks really pleasant. So a quick tour across the taxiways here. No wigwags and no green centerline lights. We'll have a look at this hangar area, maintenance area, look at the lighting. Again, you can see it's minimal, it's not huge amounts, but quite subtle. But finding your way around the airport shouldn't be too difficult. Inside of the hangar looks good, but no lighting on the sign or inside the hangar. But on the whole, that's quite pleasant. That looks fairly nice. So let's go to night time now. Bring the light right down and see how much, if any, the lighting improves. Okay, just after 10 PM local time, as you can see, the night is really upon us. There's an overview of the central terminal area looking towards the south, and as you can see, lighting has come up quite significantly even from this point. And here we are looking towards the city. It's a lovely area, nice location that really comes to life at night time. Let's go down to the ramp and have a look and see how much improvement the light has been. So there's my aircraft parked on the stand, and there you can see inside the satellites. As you can see, the lighting has come up significantly, but also it's come up at the expense of some seriously powerful lighting here. I mean, this is quite whitewashed, it's quite sort of overdone, but again, I'm not a developer, so I don't know whether there's a way of bringing the lighting up significantly here on the ramp during the night time, such that it doesn't affect the lighting that you've developed inside. but it does look pretty brash from here. Let's actually pop inside here and see if there's a change. So as we get close there, you can see that looks pretty bright. It does look a little bit brash, but let's pop inside. And that's not too bad. It is very bright, and there's no obvious source of lighting. Can't see anything in the roof or any other lights there. But it's quite well lit. That's actually not too bad when you get inside. So there is a difference between when you look inside the building and when you see it from afar. So let's move across here and have a look. It's nice to see lighting in the ends of the jetways. That really is very effective. So once again, as we get closer, the lighting doesn't look quite so brash. It's not bad at all. Airport sign looks good. Looks a bit dark, to be honest. This doesn't look as well lit as I'd expected it to be. This is actually slightly better. But very nice. No complaints really. Let's just pan out across the ramp here. As you can see, the lighting extends out pretty far, which is quite good. Coming across to the control tower building. Again, you've got that nice little illusion on the outside of the control tower. It looks really quite good. Again, lots of Asobo globes sitting around all over the place, providing various degrees of lighting. Buildings look nice. As I say, nothing seriously to write home about. They're all pretty simplified, but it does look good. Let's just go out across the ramp towards the taxiways. As we can see, no green centerline lighting. You will be relying on your nose gear light. But coming up to the runway here, entry signs are well lit and well marked. So no problem there at all. So let's have a little close look down at the TRANSAVIA area here. Again, all very pleasant. Subtle lighting. It's come up a little bit, but not by much. Big hangar over there to the right is not lit at all, which is a real pity. And as you get down here onto this other hangar, they've done a lot more on it. It's lit. There's a bit of an illusion of something going on inside there. I mean, that looks quite pleasant. It's marked contrast to the big hangar we've just passed. And you've even got signage here on the building. Terminal, whatever that is. So as you can see, nicely done, nice location, lighting's good. It's not brilliant. Lots of places that don't have lighting that in my opinion should. Landside area of the terminal was the best in terms of lighting and the way it looks and realism, ambience and atmosphere. The airside, well, that's okay. What you need to see when you park up is perfectly okay. Let's have a look outside the wind from the inside of the aircraft. So there's the aircraft, cold and dark, parked up, and there's the view from the cockpit looking out to the window when you've parked up. So let's turn the lighting up to dawn. So just approaching 6 o'clock, literally a minute before 6, and there you can see some of the lighting still on, but the airport's bathed in a really nice kind of light as the sun rises. And there's a nice shot as the sun's coming up in the east, looking across the main terminal complex from landside. Very pleasant. So 9:30 in the morning, and time to wrap this review up and give you my thoughts. So okay, do I like it? Yeah, it's another huge improvement over the default. It's by a company who knows how to make use of some of the models. and knows how to do things. There's a lot that they've decided to leave rather than complete, as it were. I mean, they've done a lot of work obviously on the main terminal and the satellite. Interesting that they've done internal work on the satellite but left the rest of the building. But landside looks quite pleasant, even though they've relied quite a lot on photo scenery for the car parks and some of the roads, as you can see, that go around. Generally it works reasonably well. Not the greatest in the world, but it is a nice scenery. Is it worth 18 euros? Hard to say. I would say it's probably worth nearer 15.5, maybe 16 euros at most. Okay, that's not much of a difference, but it does when people are looking at a price for what they get. On the plus side, the modelling is good. There's plenty of it. They've done the entire airport, including the buildings that are literally on the outskirts of the airport, as per the charts. Very refreshing to see that they've gone to town on the runways and made sure that they comply with the latest aviation charts. That's a good thing. The ambience at dusk and at night time looks really good. Plenty of light for you to be able to get where you need to be. And it looks quite nice. The ambience of the airport looks really quite pleasant at dusk and in the darkness. I love what they've done on the control tower. Even though they've chosen not to do any internal work on it, it looks lovely. On the downside, there are lots of buildings that they've done work on here where there is no light at all during dusk or darkness. I mean, this terminal complex over here, maintenance area, it's not an awful lot of light at all. And the hangars, well, they could have done a bit more inside the hangars. The fire station, there's hardly any lighting at all, and this is one of the most important areas on any major international airport. But do I like it? Yeah, I do like it. It's nice. I bought this. I wasn't sent it by the developers, and as ever, the opinions and thoughts are my own, and in no way influenced by the developer. So I bought this because it's one of the places I have flown into before and will fly into again. But I just might sample it during dusk because it does look better in the evening. But it's very well done. And like I said, it's probably nearer 16 euros, 15 or 16 euros really. But there you go. I think it's quite nice, and yeah, nothing really to write home about, but yes, I can recommend it. Who knows, maybe in the short time it may come up as a sale, and if it does, it's certainly worth grabbing. So there you go, Tunis Carthage International Airport, Delta Tango Tango Alpha, Payware scenery by Prealsoft, currently version 1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. Downloads 544 meg, installs at just over a gig. It's available from SimMarket and the Airsoft shop, prices are the same, and install it via the Airsoft One app, which is a desktop app that you use. You simply run the app, put your serial number in, and it will find it, match it to the product, and allow you to install it. Current price €18.10, which equates to $18.15 US, or £15.50 UK. US and UK prices are estimates, and they include VAT and tax, which of course may vary depending on where you purchase it. A nice little scenery. Probably just slightly overpriced, but I'm not really going to quibble too much about it. It's a big airport in a nice location with everything you need, and visually quite pleasant in so many places, even though it is lacking in other places. Who knows, some of these developers do indeed update their products. Maybe there's more to do. Anyway, there you go. Lovely scenery, lovely product, quite like it, and I will be flying in here. Maybe we'll try and do a video. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, signing off at the end of another review. Hope you've enjoyed it, and if you've been sitting on the fence about it, hopefully this look at this airport has helped you decide whether or not you want it. But again, it's lovely to see more airports in the North African continent coming along, and this is another one I think for the collection. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Have a great weekend. Next week, 2 videos coming up. We'll be looking at the newest version of Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Bhumi. I was sent a copy by the developers, Siam Flight, who've recently signed in with AnyBuilds. This looks to be a really interesting scenery. There have been a couple of Bangkok sceneries on the market for Flight Sim 2020. This is the latest one. We'll be looking at that. And also, all being well, be looking at Airsoft Simwing's new Menorca scenery, which also looks pretty impressive. So that to come, and hopefully some adventure videos as well. So take care, I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye for now.